Welcome to the 2021 Chelan Valley Earth Day Fair, and welcome to the fair's entertainment stage at Riverwalk Park, or at least where it would be. Obviously, things are a little different this year. The park looks so empty, but that does not mean we aren't going to have a fair this year. We're still going to have the opportunity to learn more about the environment and some simple practical ways we can help out. We'll have some special guests. We even have some of our favorite musicians to entertain us, and a lot of fun along the way, just in virtual form. Glad you could join us. One of the longest running Earth Day fairs in the state, the Chelan Valley Earth Day Fair, has been around for over 30 years, thanks to the efforts of scores of volunteers and the support of numerous businesses and organizations throughout the area. Here are just some of the fantastic posters created by our phenomenal graphic artist and webmaster, Sherry Palmater. Each year we wait with curiosity and excitement to see the next one, because you never know what's going to come out of that creative mind of hers. Now, to take you back and give you a little perspective of the fair under normal circumstances, here's a feature prepared by Lake Chelan Now in 2018.
Well, Saturday, April 21st proved to be a beautiful day to celebrate the 29th annual Chelan Earth Day Fair at Riverwalk Park. We hope you had the opportunity to attend the event in person, but regardless, take a look at this short highlight video, a presentation of LakeChelanNow.com.
Just a little reminder of what it'll be like when we get back to the park next year. Again, our thanks to Dennis and Lonnie Rahm and the crew at Lake Chelan Now for putting that together. Now, unfortunately, we're missing the opportunity to show off our customary fleet of electric vehicles, which has grown year after year. But we can still give you the latest developments in EV cars and how attainable and practical they're becoming. Randy Brooks is our expert.
I was prepared to hate this car, thinking I was going to be buzzing around town in a little gutless mosquito, but I was 100% shocked. This car is ridiculously powerful. It is smooth. It is silent.
It is a Tesla Model Y, just started being produced, manufactured about a year ago, little less than a year ago. It's a crossover, so it's higher ground clearance. It still has a lot of the same features of the Model S with a front trunk or a frunk. So you can pop that from inside or from your app that you have on your phone.
Tell me about the maintenance on this car. I bet it's a pretty high maintenance car.
Not at all. That's what's so great about it. Pretty much three things you have. You have the windshield wiper fluid that you fill. You have the cabin air filter that you change. And tires, because the car is heavy because of the batteries, you do kind of go through tires because it is just a heavy car. That is it. And then the EV grin.
Hi, I'm Jack Anderson, and this is a 2021 Model S by Tesla. We've only had it a few months now, but we did have some experience because we had a 2013 Model S. One of the big motivators on this car, though, is the 400 plus miles of range. The car is more comfortable because over the years, Tesla has continued to improve things like seating and the ergonomic layout of the interior of the car. And you know the most important thing? They finally put cup holders in the back seat.
We have a 2018 Nissan Leaf. It's the SL model, which they have different models. So this one was one of the upper models, but still quite affordable compared to a lot of other electric cars.
And did you buy this car new?
No.
We actually bought it just about 8 months ago. And again, it was a 2018 when we bought it.
We waited to purchase a car because we knew we wanted to have an electric vehicle, but Teslas were out of our reach, and we knew that the Nissan Leafs were more affordable, but we didn't have the range that we wanted to have, so we waited until the right year came up and at a price we could afford, and then we purchased.
This is a Tesla Model 3. It's the fastest car I've ever owned in my life, and I've owned some really fast cars in the past. It is the best handling car I've ever driven, and it's just a kick to drive, basically. It's really fun. They're constantly improving the autopilot part of it. They're constantly improving braking. They're constantly improving even how much mileage I get out of the thing. They're improving the batteries through the internet. Don't ask me how they're doing that.
Hi, I'm Steve Furman, and this is Kathy Furman, my wife. And yeah, we've got a 2017 Bolt. We've got about 32,000 miles on it so far. We use it mostly in north central Washington for driving around town, driving to Wenatchee. Our kids have some property in Leavenworth, and so we drive there often. And it just has plenty of range for that. It's comfortable.
One of the main reasons why I like this car is that it's easy for me to get in and out of. I'm kind of a big guy, I'm long-waisted, and the lower slung cars that are, you know, a little more sporty look cool, but I can't get in and out of them very easily. So this one really fits the bill for that. But it is sporty, it really goes.
We kind of fight over who gets to drive. Whoever is going the furthest, or sometimes I take young ladies who are short and it's hard to get in and out of cars, so this is, you know, this is the best for them, so then I get to drive.
Now, if this piqued your interest, you can get more information by going to the website plugincw.com.
When I think of Earth Day, I am so glad because it's a moment to think about the earth, to think about the air we breathe, the trees that are growing around us, the quality of the soil. And I hope that that encourages people to think about the earth a little bit more.
And happy Earth Day to you. Actually, officially this year, it's April 22nd. Kevin Jones will be along in a moment with a great tune from the Snowy Owl Theater. Plus, a little later, you'll learn how you can win one of 2 bicycles being given away by Lake Chelan EMS, courtesy of the Lake Chelan Health and Wellness Foundation. But shifting gears a bit, a topic we really haven't talked much about in past Earth Day fairs is food waste. Did you know that food is being wasted at an alarming rate? According to Save the Food, an estimated 40% of all food in America is wasted, and we, the consumers, are the largest source of it, more than grocery stores and restaurants combined. Unfortunately, people contribute to the problem without even knowing it. Here's just one example of how that happens.
Strawberries? No, honey. Please? Okay.
But there is good news. We can do something about it. Get educated. SaveTheFood.com is a great resource on the topic. For instance, here's a breakdown of what food is wasted and what it can cost your family. But they don't just nag you about food waste. They give you common sense opportunities and solutions, like better meal planning so you don't overshop and end up tossing food, recipes for those odds and ends that always ended up in your garbage, and how to keep your food fresher longer. It all adds up to more efficient use of our food and reducing the impact of having to grow more than we need. That's SaveTheFood.com. You can also get your food fresher and reduce your carbon footprint by going local. Around here, it's especially easy to go farm to table. We'll be learning more about the Valley's farmers markets coming up a little later. Now, if you've been to the Chelan Earth Day Fair, we hope you've enjoyed the music that's graced our stage over the years. We strive to bring you something different every fair, and it seems as though the folks always have a good time. Recently, we've enjoyed the multi-talented Mike Bills, creative songwriter and interpreter and contestant on this year's NBC's The Voice, Savannah Wood. And the boogie-prone saddle rockers always seem to get them dancing. But through the years, there's been one constant, the Kevin Jones Band in some form or another. Here's a photo from 20 years ago. Now, just because we're virtual this year doesn't mean you have to miss out. From a recent performance at the Snowy Owl Theater, courtesy of the Icicle Creek Center for the Arts, here's Kevin Jones with his friends Doyle Wood and Cam Nichols.
Now it's time to put on your dancing shoes and twist like there's no tomorrow. This is a song by Buddy Miller called Gasoline and Matches. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Baby, 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 listen what I say. Baby, 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 I gotta have my way. I'm gonna keep on knocking till the door latches. You and me, a gasoline and matches. Baby, 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 when it's cold and dark. Baby, 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 you make me feel a spark. Well, I feel the spark when the fire catches. You and me, a gasoline and matches. Oh, you pull my pin and you trip my wire. You come on in and set my heart on fire. You knock me out, you rock me off my axis. You and me, a gasoline and matches. Baby, 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 when you make your move. Baby, 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 I can feel the groove. The resistance of a strong-willed man in ashes. You and me, a gasoline and matches. You pull my pin and you trip my wire. You come on in and set my heart on fire. You knock me out, you rock me off my axis. You and me, a gasoline and matches. Baby, I'm incarcerated and I don't want out. Baby, we should get related, and there ain't no doubt. When I see your heart and mine attaches, you and me, a gasoline and matches. Well, you pull my pin and you trip my wire. You come on in and set my heart on fire. You knock me out, you rock me off my axis. You and me, a gasoline and matches. Baby, I'm incarcerated and I don't want out. But baby, we should get related. Oh, there ain't no doubt. When I pull the sharp and mine attaches, you and me, a gasoline and matches. You and me, a gasoline and matches. You and me, a gasoline and matches.
Kevin Jones, Doyle Wood on mandolin, and Cam Nichols at the Snowy Owl Theater.
Pull my pin and trip my wire.
Once again, we thank the Icicle Creek Center for the Arts. We'll be hearing more from the group later on. We want to thank a lot of people and organizations for their help in putting this all together. These are local and regional folks who care about preserving the natural beauty of our area and the people who live here. And we deeply appreciate it. Thanks to media partners KOZI Radio, the Wenatchee World, Sunny FM, and Lake Chelan Mirror. Also to the Lake Chelan Rotary, Chelan County PUD, Link Transit, the Chelan Chamber of Commerce, Plug-in North Central Washington, and also North Cascades Bank. Thanks also to the Lake Chelan Health and Wellness Foundation, who are graciously donating 2 bicycles to be given away, with details coming up. Here's Lake Chelan EMS's Jared Degebrod to give you a sneak peek.
This is what we're going to do. Right here, right now, we are going to have a virtual bike rodeo consisting of 3 phases. Don't worry, 3 short phases. The first phase consists of 3 bike safety facts. Mind-blowing facts, obviously. Next comes the virtual helmet wearing while social distancing on social media Bike Rodeo Event. You haven't heard of the VHWWS DOS MBR event? You stoked about the VHWWS DOS MBR event? What's that? What's that? What a kidder. If you participate in phase 2, you'll automatically be entered into phase 3, where we'll be raffling off a boy's bike and a girl's bike to a couple lucky winners. You might be wondering, where do these bikes come from that you guys always raffle off? Well, this year, they have come from the Lake Chelan Health and Wellness Foundation. They want you to be safe. Because of that, they make big donations and set you up with awesome raffle items like new bikes.
That's coming up in the next few minutes, so you'll want to stick around.
Earth Day is important to me because that's when we can educate ourselves and others about the things that we can do to lessen our impact on our world and to incorporate those into our daily lives.
Truth is, if you live in the Lake Chelan Valley, you have a direct responsibility to protect it. Lake water quality constantly shows up as the #1 concern of Valley residents. It's the main factor that makes the Valley tick. We're fortunate to have a group of experts called the Lake Chelan Watershed Planning Unit who know what they're doing and are actively employing that knowledge to keep an eye on the state of the lake and educate us on how we can help. Chelan County Natural Resources Department's Lisa Dowling is the spokesperson for Keep It Blue, Lake Chelan.
Lake Chelan, as you've noted, is a really key part of the economic viability for this region. Lake Chelan draws over 2 million tourists a year, making it be one of the primary economic drivers along with agriculture. And the 5,000 residents that live in Chelan and Manson depend on Lake Chelan to provide clean drinking water for both domestic and agricultural purposes. And over recent decades, Lake Chelan has experienced significant changes from the construction of the dam at the Chelan River to loss of native fish species, introduction of aquatic invasive species, and substantial development in the lower part of the Chelan Valley. And these increasing population, tourism growth, changing land use, and ongoing invasive species all threaten this very sensitive aquatic ecosystem. So the Lake Chelan Watershed Planning Unit, which is a group of stakeholders in the Chelan and Manson areas that are all dedicated to the long-term protection of the water quality, water supply, and fish and wildlife habitat that Chelan supports. They've really spent years trying to identify and battle the issues that face the lake. And so in 2018, they partnered together with the Natural Resource Department to support the Lake Chelan Keep It Blue effort. And while they were working through that phase 1, they also simultaneously worked with the Bureau of Reclamation to produce vulnerability and habitat suitability analysis for aquatic invasive species. This was a really important piece because prior to that, we had assumed that Lake Chelan was very low risk for invasive mussels like quagga and zebra mussels that are causing just all kinds of problems throughout much of North America. And when we completed this assessment, we found out that it really is a high risk rating for Lake Chelan. And many of the factors that contribute to that score are human mediated. So this assessment really shined a light on the role of public outreach and education in our efforts to reduce the risk of aquatic invasive species in Lake Chelan. So gleaning wisdom from those findings, we launched into phase 2 of the Keep It Blue program, and we've been working together with the local community to get out our campaign message, which is that, our mission is that the pristine waters of Lake Chelan are a critical asset, and we want to protect that through building public awareness around the importance of water quality in the lake's ecology. And our vision is to use education and outreach to promote community-based actions that protect and enhance Lake Chelan, both now as well as into the future. And so we have, a website up and running and a lot of information out there about the specific things that both residents in Chelan and Manson, as well as tourists, can do to help protect our lake.
Certainly takes a group effort. Of course, we have Keep It Blue Lake Chelan. We have Phil Long with the Lake Chelan Research Institute, and Amanda Newell is over there with Cascadia Conservation District. It seems like you all kind of share that same big view, the big picture view of how to protect the environment for Chelan County.
Absolutely. And we partner with folks, locally, like Phil with the Lake Chelan Research Institute and Amanda with Cascadia Conservation District, but as well as federal partners like the Forest Service and the National Park Service, who are some of the primary landowners at the, Stehekin side of the lake. And then a lot of the businesses throughout the Chelan and Manson areas, their tourism-based businesses are really reliant upon the clear, pristine water quality of the lake and the 2 million tourists per year that it brings to the area.
Lisa, thank you very much. And your website again, keepitbluelakechelan.org. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that.
Yep, you got it.
If you haven't checked it out already, there's tons of helpful information at keepitbluelakechelan.org.
Is your heating turned up too high?
One of our major sponsors, supporting us in many ways over the years, has been the Chelan County Public Utility District, and they've got some tips on how you can conserve energy with upgraded insulation and appliances and save some cash at the same time.
Hey, so I've been thinking a lot about Earth Day. I'm just not sure which spot to run.
You mean to remind people to save energy?
Yeah, and to tell them that Chelan PUD gives cash back for energy efficient upgrades for their home.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, what do you have?
So there's this super cute one with a chicken.
Student loans are expensive, so to save money, I moved back into my parents' place. Turns out they converted their home into a shelter for homeless chickens. It's weird.
There's a better way to save.
That is cute. As a vegan who understands the environmental impact of meat consumption, this totally speaks to me. And backyard chickens are definitely having a moment. But what about mentioning the rebates?
Okay, so there's this series of a guy who gets super excited about saving energy.
Save your energy for the things that really matter, like controlling the temperature inside your home from anywhere. Take advantage of rebates on energy-saving smart thermostats,
His ductless heat pump.
like the perfect temperature inside your home.
Yes!
Take advantage of rebates on energy-saving ductless heat pumps.
He even rides a hybrid water heater like a bull.
Yeah, no water heater riding.
Okay, what about two ladies on a couch watching a commercial about Chelan PUD rebates?
Oh, great. Another one of those PUD rebate commercials. There's no way the rebates are real.
Trust me, it is so real.
The rebates are real.
Whoa, that is so meta.
Oh, I know. What about Bigfoot?
If Bigfoot can get cash back with a PUD rebate on new insulation, so can you.
Or what if he dances?
The rebates are real.
I don't know. I think that kind of covers it.
Yeah, I think it kind of does. Happy Earth Day, Chelan.
Thanks once again to the Chelan County PUD, and thanks also for Riverwalk Park and Chelan Falls Park for the loop along the Chelan River, and the list goes on. Now, I'll gladly admit that what first drew my attention to the Earth Day Fair was the music. The North Central Washington area has an abundance of talented musicians, and we've been fortunate to have many of them on the Chelan Earth Day Fair stage. One of these talented musicians made the jump this year to NBC's The Voice. Here's our very own songstress, Savannah Woods, being socially distant with her song, My Mistake.
It's not what I expected. When will I learn it never is? I thought I knew me better, or I thought this time that it would change. I drew up a pretty tale about a land I cannot stand. This painting's coming to life, and it's crowding on my mind. 'Cause I thought it could be different this time. I thought that it was different this time. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. Gotta forgive myself all the sins I haven't done. You walked in my line of fire. I should have told you to run. But I thought that I was different this time. I thought I could be different this time. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. It's not what I expected. When will I learn it never is? You walked in my line of fire. Should have told you to run. 'Cause I drew up a pretty tale about a land I could not stay. This painting's coming to life, and it's crowding on my mind. But I thought that I was different this time. I thought I could be different this time. That's my mistake. That's my mistake. That's my mistake.
Savannah Woods, My Mistake. Well, our secret find is no longer a secret. Still, she enjoys playing the Earth Day Fair so much we may get her back next year. And welcome once again to the 2021 Chelan Earth Day Fair in virtual form. We've got details coming up on how you can win one of 2 bikes courtesy of the Lake Chelan Health and Wellness Foundation. Another popular fixture at past Earth Day fairs have been the beekeepers from the North Central Washington Beekeepers Association. Bees are easy to overlook, but they're incredible creatures, hard-working, extremely well-organized, and they're critically important to our food supply as pollinators. As you may have heard, worker bees can communicate the location of a source of nectar by displaying a sort of dance for the other bees, although maybe not quite like this.
Hey, bees, bees, bees! Yo, I found some nectar. DJ Honey, drop it. Yo, where my bees at?
That public service announcement was a clever example of a commercial business, in this case Haagen-Dazs ice cream, showing an interest in protecting the bees. Speaking of which, you can get involved in the effort simply by the way you plant your garden and landscape your yard. And Master Gardener Patty Milo says you'll be helping out critically important pollinators of all sorts.
Well, you know, as a master gardener, we're taught all aspects of how flowers work and how gardens interact with the insects and the plants and all of that. And a lot of people don't stop to realize how these things are connected. But one thing that is important that most people don't think of very often is how important little insects are and the job that they do, which is pollination. When you look and you see the little beetle in your yard or the bee flying around, they're doing us a wonderful service in that making sure that we have food to eat. Worldwide, pollinators are required to do their job for over 70% of our crops. And, you know, for an estimated value of $3 billion every year. So they are very important little animals in our lives. They also will pollinate 80% of our flowering plants. So, you know, think of where we get apples and fruits and, you know, vegetables. All this comes because of the little insects. Interestingly enough, we're going to talk mostly about bees today, but just because of sheer numbers, the most largest insect group that pollinate are beetles, but they don't get the credit the bees do because they're cute and fun and everybody likes a little bee, don't they, Gary?
They have better PR, I think, than beetles do.
Yeah, they do. I have a little interesting factoid for people in that we're talking about honeybees. As you see them moving around your garden and your yard, a bee actually works very hard for us in that she's flying about 7 miles an hour. And to do that, she's flapping her wings 190 times a second to stay aloft.
Wow.
So, yeah, put that with all the other things she has to do, and you can see how hard these little guys are working for us.
Well, I think a valuable point you're making is, yes, we focus on honeybees, and of course everyone likes the honey that they produce, but there are tons more insects that are doing this pollination process you're talking about.
Absolutely. And one thing I'd like to point out to people is when you think of bee, you think of the little black and yellow striped girl that's flying around in the garden. But another set of bees that don't quite have the same PR as the honeybee are our native bees. And these are things like sweat bees and mason bees. They don't live in a hive like what we're used to, a bee doing. Some of these guys are living in bee blocks, if a gardener was nice enough to put one up for them, kind of like a bee hotel. They can live in a brush pile or they can live underground. But most importantly, instead of a hive comprised of 10,000 bees living together, most native bees are single mothers. And native bees are a little more effective than a honeybee. Say for an acre of apples, you could do 250 native bees do the same job, or to do the same job, you would need 2 hives of honeybees, which comprise about 20,000 honeybees. So a native bee can be a very much more effective pollinator than a honeybee, but they both have their places. Honeybees do their thing, and native bees can do theirs.
Master gardener and pollinator expert Patty Milos. We'll be hearing how you can easily plant a garden made for pollinators later on. You can always take it a step further and start your own hive, but you want to make sure you know what you're getting into first. I talked with Lee and Terry McGarr of the North Central Washington Beekeepers Association, and by the way, my sincerest apologies to Lee for my bad camera work, and they say getting off to a good start can make all the difference.
You definitely want to go out and see what's all involved before you decide to pick it up as even a hobby, because it's a little bit more work than just putting a box in your backyard and waiting for honey. So
because year after year we see people coming and getting into beekeeping, and it's a lot more work than what they think it is. They'll give it up as a bad job. First year, that's it, they're done.
There's a certain level of, in fact, a great level of responsibility if you want to be a good beekeeper anyway, correct?
Yeah, you need to manage your bees, you need to keep them, take care of them, you need to treat for mites, you need to provide a proper apiary, water, resources. Even though bees will fly up to 8 miles for resources, you wouldn't want your other pets or animals that you have flying or walking to get food and water. So you need to be a responsible beekeeper and provide stuff so they're not over at the neighbor's hot tub trying to get water because you don't have any water out for them, or the neighbor's pool.
And it seems as though there are a lot of things people who aren't even beekeepers can do to help the bees stay healthy and help beekeepers keep their bees healthy.
Yeah, they can avoid spraying any pesticides or fungicides when the bees are active, and even bee-safe stuff needs to be applied when bees aren't on the plants.
So sort of the end of the day.
Yeah, and they can also, they can plant plants in their yards that will help the bees, even if they don't want to be a beekeeper. They can plant items to keep their bees in their gardens where they want pollination, in their vegetable garden. So there's tons of stuff they can do.
Even like dandelions?
Yeah, even dandelions. Dandelions are one of the first resources of a honeybee when it comes up in spring. The wax will be bright yellow, the pollen's bright yellow. The honey they make from it is I'm told it tastes really good.
What can you tell us about the North Central Washington Beekeepers Association? They seem like they'd be a good resource.
Yeah, we've got people that will mentor other people, that if they are first year beekeepers and they feel like they're stuck and they just don't know what they need to do, then they will go out and help them and show them, how to go through a hive and what they need to know.
Well, and also I know that you offer services as far as equipment and supplies, but I imagine if you're also a great resource for asking questions too.
People come to my house to buy one thing and they're here for an hour.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
open this up as being a resource for supplies, but also being a source for people to come and see bees, ask questions, get help with mentoring. We mentor a lot of people every year, anywhere from 15 to 20. There's nobody we say no to. Sometimes it's not on their schedule, it's on ours, because we have bees as well. And so, but we usually, especially somebody's struggling, we want to help them make sure their bees survive and make it a happy, fun experience and not an upsetting, because a lot of people get really attached to them. I mean, Terry gets really attached to their family. And when you lose a hive after you've worked all summer to take care of them, it's heartbreaking that you've lost them. I mean, not only did you lose the bees and your time and everything, but it's, you know, you did everything that you thought you needed to do. You just didn't ask the
You
question.
can do everything right and still lose your hive in the wintertime.
You still feel as though you failed in a way somehow,
Yeah,
even though
and
it's
you
obvious.
need somebody there to tell you that, no, not everything's perfect, but if you're not afraid to ask questions and ask for help before you're into too much trouble, then there's always something people can do.
You guys are certainly comfortable with bees on you. That's great.
Well, you kind of have to be if you're a beekeeper.
Lee and Terry, thank you so much. We appreciate you visiting with us.
Thank you for having us.
Glad we can do it.
Here's for healthy bees.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Once again, thanks to Terry and Lee McGarr. You can check out their website at ncwbees.org. You might want to check with local regulations before you get started.
I was in college when the first Earth Day was organized. Since then, I've tried to think globally and act locally to reduce my impact on Mother Earth. The climate crisis is our most pressing problem right now. Over 40% of climate change and gas emissions are from the transportation sector. So I feel that the most important thing I can do personally is to drive an electric car instead of a fossil fuel vehicle. I urge you to consider the same. Once you go electric, you'll never go back.
Throughout the years, the man who has provided the children at the fair a safe and special place not to just come and play, but create as well, is Mark Tesh. Along with his partner and co-conspirator, Michelle Jerome, they've built playgrounds out of recyclable and reusable materials that inspire climbing and sliding and decorating, while lending an ear along the way. He's also an insightful observer who wrote this song several years ago, but if you think about it, seems even more relevant today. Mark Tesh with Problem with Paradise.
Oh, they're digging up the dirt. They're moving the hills. Gotta find a new place. New houses to build. Prosperity. Good economy. But is there space in this place for working men like me? That's the problem with paradise. Everybody wants a place where the view is nice. Everybody wants a place in the sun. But is there room for everyone? Everybody wants a getaway. Can the working man afford to stay? Can the working man pay the price? Live in paradise. Well, I raised my kids, I watched them grow, send them out into the world, teach them what they need to know. But when they grow and they want to come home, is there a space in this place they can call their own? That's the problem with paradise. Everybody wants a place where the view is nice. Everybody wants a place in the sun. But is there room for everyone? Everybody wants a getaway. Can the working man afford to stay? Can the working man pay the price? pushing little people out. Gets me wondering, what's community about? In the valley, in the town, when the dust has settled down, is there a space in this place where a working family can be found? That's the problem with paradise. Everybody wants a place where the view is nice. Everybody wants a place in the sun. Is there room for everyone? Everybody wants a getaway. Can the working man afford to stay? Can the working man pay the price? Live in paradise. Thank you.
As you probably know, the city of Chelan recently shifted from a recycling center to curbside recycling, which changed the way many of us do things. For instance, we always had to separate things like paper from the plastic, but that's not the case any longer. However, there are still some nuances, so we went to Jake Youngren of Chelan Public Works to get the lowdown.
Yeah, newspapers and magazines, cardboard, aluminum cans, tin cans, small scrap metal, and then the plastics like we talked. But the don'ts are any of the plastics with numbers greater than 2, and no mixed paper or copy paper, actually. So that's not one that's totally intuitive to some people, but and then quite a few other items we encourage not to place in the bin.
Sure. And what could we do here in the city of Chelan as recyclers to make your job easier when it comes to getting this audited well and continuing the program?
Yeah, well, I think really just continuing on the path that we've been since we started. I feel like we've got good participation, which is great in our recycling program, and we have fairly good audit reports for the material that we're collecting. We don't have much of an ability to sort the material, so it's critical that what we collect is in condition ready to. What we do is we bale it into a compressed bale and then we ship it. And so just doing the things like we discussed, making sure before you open the lid to your recycle bin that it meets the guidelines that we've sent out. I think most recycle bins, they have stickers on them. They have a sticker that says place these items in your cart, and they have a sticker that says do not place these items in your cart. So I think if we follow the guidelines on those stickers, we're in pretty good shape.
Jake, thanks very much. Appreciate you visiting with us. And
yeah, thanks for having me.
Happy Earth Day. Take care.
All right, thanks.
If animals can recycle, so can we.
One of the surprising things about putting this together is discovering that many of the items we thought to be unrecyclable actually are. Take shopping bags, for example. Unfortunately, with the change in shopping habits during the pandemic, the use of plastic shopping bags has skyrocketed. However, you may not know they don't have to wind up in the landfill. They actually are recyclable. According to the website plasticfilmrecycling.org, in addition to plastic shopping bags, you can recycle the plastic used to wrap products. Also, newspaper bags, bread bags, dry cleaner bags, and protective packaging. Also, case shrink wrap, clean food storage bags, and even the plastic bags you get in the produce department. If you go to the plasticfilmrecycling.org website, you'll find a drop-off location directory that's very easy to use. Now, this can be used anywhere, so let people know about it. All you do is enter your zip code, and then click on the Find button. And by scrolling down, you can see these items can be dropped off at marked containers at Walmart or the Safeway stores in Chelan and Leavenworth. You want to check with each store for details. So what about styrofoam in all its various forms, and those pesky number 6 plastics? It was another surprise to find out there is a recycling option for those and other plastics too, from a company in Wenatchee called Dolco Packaging. At Dolco, you can drop off clean polystyrene products 24/7 at 1000 South Columbia Street. What qualifies as polystyrene? You'd be surprised. Clear plastic like plasticware, clear containers, CD cases, and cups. Also expanded polystyrene that makes up things like ice chests and packaging materials. High-impact polystyrene in your cup and lids, marked number 6, and bread clips. And extruded polystyrene that you find in your takeout food containers, egg cartons, and those dastardly styrofoam cups. Little steps can make a big difference, so by organizing your recycling practices, you can recycle a lot more than you thought.
The Chelan Earth Day Fair has been going for more than 30 years. I've spent a lot of those times celebrating at the fair. You know, when I think the millions of other people around the world that are also celebrating Earth Day at the same time, you know, that's pretty powerful.
Of course, music has always been a big part of our Earth Day celebration. As I mentioned earlier, we enjoy bringing new bands to the stage, or at least new to us bands. Before we had to cancel last year, we had these guys on our schedule. Here's Wayne Evans, Mike Gamble, and Jim Harville, otherwise known as Older and Wiser, from another concert at the Snowy Owl Theater.
All right, this one features Mike Gamble on the bass guitar. When you brush your shoes and stand before the mirror, and you comb your hair and grab your coat and hat, and you walk the streets trying to remember, yeah, all those wild nights race through your mind, and everything looks so complete when you're walking out on the street. The wind catches your feet, sends you flying, flying. Wild night is calling. All those girls go by dressed up for each other, and the boys do the boogie woogie on the corner of the street, and all those people passing by just stare wild wonder, yeah, and inside the jukebox rolls just like thunder, and everything looks so complete when you're walking out on the street. The wind catches your feet, sends you flying, flying. Ooh-wee. Wild night is calling. Everything looks so complete when you're walking out on the street. The wind catches your feet, sends you flying, flying. Ooh-wee. Wild night is calling. I said, wild night is calling. I said, wild
That's Older and Wiser at the Snowy Owl Theater.
I have this thing where I always laugh at the end of songs. These guys give me a hard time.
We hope to have them back on stage next year. Once again, our thanks to the Icicle Creek Center for the Arts. Did I mention you should stick around for your chance to win one of 2 kids' bicycles donated by the Lake Chelan Health and Wellness Foundation and to be given away by Lake Chelan EMS? And if your child needs a bike helmet, Jared Eggebrod will tell you how you can get one. That's coming up in just a bit.
Energy-saving bulbs use 1/5 of the energy of ordinary bulbs.
You've probably heard of them before, the Cascadia Conservation District. But who are they, and why are they so important to preserving the general environmental health of our area? To find out, we talked with someone who has the answers.
So thanks for having me. I'm Amanda Newell with Cascadia Conservation District, and we are a non-regulatory organization dedicated to encouraging the wise stewardship and conservation of all natural resources in Chelan County. We have a board of supervisors and then technical staff, and we work with communities and landowners on conservation issues from soil, water, forestry, irrigation issues, pasture management, kind of a whole broad range. We do some urban agriculture and school gardens programs, and then quite a few outdoor youth education programs as well, like our Kids in the Creek and Kids in the Forest. So really a broad range of things. So we provide technical and financial assistance. So some of our programs are just outright free, no cost. Others, like for the forestry one in particular, we can cover 50 to 75% of the cost of a project. So that's a great way for landowners to get a lot of work done and not have as much out-of-pocket expense. A lot of folks wouldn't be able to do these large-scale projects if it was just all out-of-pocket and all on their own. So our programs help to make that possible for a more broad range of landowners.
How can the general public get involved in what you're doing or participate in the Cascadia Conservation District efforts?
It just depends on their need, really. So, teachers or parents can reach out to us about our education programs. Folks with forested land can reach out about doing a larger thinning project, or like I said, anyone can participate in the chipping program. If they just have a small amount of material around their house they want to take out and reduce that fire risk. If you have a farm or an orchard, we have the irrigation upgrade programs. If you're a streamside landowner, we do habitat restoration projects and riparian plantings. So like I said, kind of something for everyone. So we encourage you to just reach out and give us a call if you have a natural resource concern on your property, or browse our website, get a little more information on what we offer, and we're happy to answer any questions.
So I know your website's cascadiacd.org, as in Cascadia Conservation District. So again, cascadiacd.org. What other ways can they get in touch with you?
They can also reach out over the phone, which is 509-436-1601, or by email at info@cascadiacd.org.
Amanda, thanks very much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to get a chance to meet you. Take care.
You too. Thanks.
Again, you'll find a lot of helpful information on Cascadia Conservation District's website, cascadiacd.org. You've heard of a Philharmonic Orchestra. How about a landfill harmonic orchestra? You may never look at garbage the same way again after this feature from Keep America Beautiful.
Mi nombre es Ada Maribel Ríos Bogado, tengo 13 años y toco el violín.
Me llamo Juan Manuel Chávez, más conocido como Baby. Tengo 19 años y toco el cello. Este cello está hecho de una lata de aceite, la madera tirada en la basura y las clavijas son de una vieja cuchara para golpear la carne y para hacer el ñoquis. Y suena así.
Una comunidad como Cateura no es un lugar para tener un violín. De hecho, un violín cuesta más que su casa.
En ese grupo acá mismo encontramos el colador de violín. Y de ese empezamos los instrumentos reciclados. La familia que acá vive recicla todo lo que hay en la basura y se vende. No pensaba antes que yo voy a hacer ese instrumento. Y me siento demasiado feliz cuando estoy viendo a un niño que está tocando un violín reciclado.
Cuando ya escucho el sonido del violín siento como mariposas en el estómago, así una sensación que no sé cómo voy a explicar.
Bueno, la orquesta de instrumentos reciclados es una orquesta que toca instrumentos hechos con la basura.
Mi vida sería, sin la música, estaría de por ahí.
La gente se da cuenta que no tenemos que tirar la basura muy fácilmente. Y no tenemos que desechar a las personas muy fácilmente.
¡Fuerte, fuerte!
There's good news. The ensemble has brought a lot of good to Cachera. Money the orchestra has generated from its international touring has funded the building of new, safer homes for several members of the group and their families. Thanks to the efforts of some dedicated volunteers, growers, and craftspeople, the Chelan Valley has benefited from 3 farmers markets in 2 locales, one Wednesday and Saturday mornings in Manson, and the Thursday evening and Saturday morning markets in Chelan, making it easy to go from farm to table. April Leaf is the manager of Chelan's Thursday evening market adjacent to Riverwalk Park.
Hi, welcome to your virtual tour of the Chelan Evening Farmers Market. Fresh, local produce, a lot of organic farmers, and quite a wide variety and some unusual things that you don't usually see in a grocery store. All of the artisan products are handmade, ranging from soaps, clothing, face masks, wooden spoons, of course jewelry and all types of really artistic things, paintings, bird houses made out of old boots, fresh eggs and fresh chicken. This year we're going to have a food truck that does something different, not your standard food truck. He's going to have a different menu every week, things like curried chicken on rice and a little bit more exotic than your average food truck. Things from the vendors, yes.
Now, when I go to a grocery store, it says fresh on it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the difference between grocery store fresh and farmer's market
Well,
fresh.
if you think 30 days in a warehouse is fresh, come taste our produce. Oh, not to mention our cherries and apples and peaches and apricots. My mouth is starting to water. We have apples that are small crops, but people are still growing these rare apples like transparents, which is a very old variety. And, the skin is so thin that you just like you're looking at the inside of the apple. And they're delicious. They make the best applesauce. You can look at our Facebook page, Chelan Evening Farmers Market, and be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. And it's a weekly newsletter when we're open. And you'll get updates on what's coming, what events we may be having, like our apple pie contest last year was really fun. And if you're interested or have questions or want to be a vendor, you can contact me at email manager@chelanfarmersmarket.org.
The Chelan Farmers Markets are sponsored by North Cascades Bank.
We're going to learn more about the new glass pulverizer that's coming to the valley in the next few months from the Lake Chelan Rotary's Julie McCoy. That's just moments away. And following that, Jared Eggebrod will tell you how you can win one of 2 bikes from Lake Chelan EMS. The lake transit system has been on the cutting edge for some time, but the jump to electric buses is leading the nation in a new direction.
The world is moving in the biggest technological and economic transformation in human history. That transformation has to include the vehicles and also the method of generating the electricity.
What we do has never been done before, so it's a thrill and it's very rewarding. We're paving the way and we're pioneers for a new system and technology.
Inductive charging is the primary objective of our company. Transportation agencies are looking for ways to transition their fleets to electric buses. The problem is, none of the electric buses today are able to drive as far as they need to drive on one charge. The people of Link Transit in Wenatchee, Washington called us and said, "We think your solution is the one we're looking for." Wenatchee is a remarkable small city. It's the first place in the world that has a fully operational, high-power automatic charger that can keep a bus fleet in operation all day.
We're located in the power buckle of the United States, right on the Columbia River. We have 11 hydroelectric dams that generate power. So we realized early on that we wanted a technology that was going to be cleaner, simpler, and that's when we started to look for magnetic inductive charging.
The fundamentals of induction are that if you have an alternating current flowing through a conductor, that conductor will generate a magnetic field that wraps around the conductor and rotates around it. If you take the conductor, which could be a copper wire, and spool it into a coil, then the magnetic field that is generated will take the shape of a donut. If you put another coil directly above the first coil, the second coil will have a current induced in it by the magnetic field that's generated by the first coil. That's resonant magnetic induction. And that's what we use to transfer energy from the ground to the underside of the vehicle across an air gap.
What's great about Wenatchee is it uses that clean energy, which then powers our charging systems to allow it to power the bus.
Momentum dynamics technology is a lightweight, cost-efficient, energy-efficient, powerful and fast automated solution for fueling electric vehicles.
So this is our receiving end of our system. These are our receiving charging pads, which are getting the power from our transmitting pads to the receiving pads, which then brings all the power along to our management module, which will help manage the power that goes to our battery system. And that's how the battery gets charged.
The beauty about this product is there is absolutely no moving parts.
Momentum charger worked first time we put it in, and it's been absolutely trouble-free, and it is achieving exactly what we had hoped.
14 months of continuous operation, we have not had a single interruption of service. And more importantly, we have proven the concept of opportunity charging for high utilization vehicles.
It's an amazing feeling to know that you're on the cutting edge of technology and that we're leading the world in something that someday will be regular all over everywhere.
The efficiency of inductive charging is better than conductive charging. It's less expensive.
We have a generation 2, and the best thing is we're going to more power and making it smaller.
It's one thing to say you're green, but to actually put it in action and do it. That's where the innovation comes in.
Wenatchee has proven that this is the right way forward.
Momentum is going to be a big part of getting electric vehicle adoption to happen. I'm looking forward to seeing our charging systems everywhere, and hopefully that happens soon.
Our thanks to Link Transit for supporting the Chelan Earth Day Fair over the years. Momentum Dynamics, developer of the wireless charging system, produced that feature.
Me gusta oír las promesas de los científicos, los profesores y aún políticos en cuanto a nuestro medio ambiente. Pero lo que me gusta más es asistir a las festividades del Día de la Tierra en nuestro pueblo, Chelan, Washington. Allí podemos hacer preguntas con empleados de nuestros parques, comprar plantas para nuestros jardines, ver coches eléctricos, y hay libros y arte y niños y jóvenes allí que bailan y cantan para celebrar el Día de la Tierra.
We have a chance to catch up with Julie McCoy. She's with the Lake Chelan Rotary, who has been really busy with a project going on in the Chelan Valley that you may have heard about and maybe not have heard about. Well, I would call it a glass pulverizer. You would call it a glass repurposer, I suppose. Julie, can you explain the program to us a little bit?
Sure, I'm happy to. Actually, pulverizer is exactly the right word for the system that we're planning to implement here. We've actually ordered a commercial glass pulverizing system, which will allow us to repurpose used consumer glass of all kinds, not just glass bottles and jars, but porcelain, into useful end products. And the reason we call that repurposing is that when you recycle a bottle, like one of the ones behind me here, you can turn it into a new glass bottle over and over again. Glass is endlessly recyclable, which is really a good way to go. But in rural communities like ours, that means transporting the glass to distant locations, in our case, to the Seattle area. And of course, that incurs transportation costs, and as well as a carbon footprint that we want to avoid. So the pulverizing system that we're buying will turn these glass bottles and jars and other types of glass into useful end products that can be used for other purposes. It won't be new glass, but a sand product and an aggregate product that have lots and lots of potential end uses.
I've seen some of the results, and they vary from, as you say, almost sand-like to more like maybe even small pieces of gravel. What purpose would this serve, actually?
Well, actually, it has a really nice landscaping use. I think that may be attractive to the most people here. It looks really pretty in the garden, so aesthetically it's appealing, but also it serves as a really high quality mulch. The sand and aggregate product, when combined together, and if combined with compost, it's even better. But the product provides excellent water retention as well as excellent drainage, and it repels insects. It functions something like if your viewers have heard of diatomaceous earth. It's a non-renewable product that a lot of gardeners use in places that are infested with snails and slugs. This functions in the same manner, but it's a completely renewable product because of the vast source of bottles we have here in the Wine Valley.
Now, as consumers, we always accumulate glass. I suppose what we would do is separate that out, and then I understand you'll be open particular times where we can bring our glass up to what was the transfer station, or still is actually, where the recycling center used to be. And then what would be the process from there?
The process there is that your glass will be weighed. You will pay a small fee to drop it off, 2 cents a pound. That's very little. It allows us to cover our costs of operation, including the maintenance of the pulverizing system and the other equipment that we have to purchase and maintain, like a forklift. And so you would pay your small deposit fee, and then while you're there, if you wanted to take away a bucket of the product, the sand or the aggregate, or a mixture of the two, we're planning to sell the product by a 5-gallon bucket for $5 a piece.
Well, that's a pretty good deal. And as it works out, of course, this is not a cheap piece of equipment. There'll probably be maintenance costs over time, maybe eventual replacement. Can you tell us a little bit how the funding mechanism has worked? I know you've gotten great support already from many different entities.
We've received 2 very large grants, one from the city of Chelan, for which we're very grateful, and one from the Department of Ecology. Both of those are in the amount of $50,000. So we've secured $100,000. Our total funding goal is $150,000. That will enable us to put something away for maintenance costs, for the other equipment and things we need to purchase, the buckets, for example. And of that remaining $50,000 as of today, we're just about at 50%, just shy of that. So we're doing very well. The wineries have stepped up in a big way supporting this project, and we're very appreciative of that.
That's great. And of course, if people want to get involved, maybe check out your website, or how's the best way to do that?
Best way to do that is the Lake Chelan Rotary Club site, which is lakechelanrotary.org. There's a donate button right there. And by the time your viewers see this video, we should have a website devoted just to this project, and that will be 911glassrescue.org.
Julie, thanks. Anything else you may want to mention while we have the opportunity?
I think that just one thing, Gary, and that is the 911 is, yes, it's an emergency, but also it's a play on the statistic that each year Americans dispose of 9 to 11 million tons of glass, the vast majority of which goes to the landfill. So our program will be rescuing the glass and rescuing the landfill as well.
Thank you very much, Julie, for the visit. We do appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Again, you can keep up to date by checking out the Rotary website or 911glassrescue.org.
More than I could feel, touching what is real. My mind keeps reeling round. Carolina's feeling down today. Falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love. Oh, I try to find, thinking just the other day, something that would ease her mind, something that I meant to say to her. Falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love with you. I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I make you think, let you see one thing for yourself. Now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. See, I thought that I might keep it for my own. Hey me, what you want to do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think the time is right for us to find? And all the things we thought weren't proper could be right in time. And can you see that's how we should return together or alone? I can never see what's right and what is wrong. It'll take too long to see. Hey me, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Hey me, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Now it's come to what you want, you had your way. And all the things you thought before faded in the grave. And can you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. Won't you look at me and tell me, hey me, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do, yeah now. Hey me, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. And I keep falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love with you.
Lo que me gustó de la feria del planeta es que me enseñaron a manejar las bicicletas con cuidado.
It's time for a bike rodeo.
Did you know that for the past 50 years, give or take 42, Lake Chelan EMS has been putting on a bike rodeo for the youth of the Lake Chelan Valley. In the past, we've had obstacle courses, a pump track, free snacks, food, free helmets, but this year will be the first time ever in the history of bicycles, no, not because of COVID, okay, so maybe because of COVID, that there will ever be a virtual bike rodeo. Don't all jump up out of your chairs at once in excitement.
And there was much rejoicing.
This is what we're going to do right here, right now. We are going to have a virtual bike rodeo consisting of 3 phases. Don't worry, 3 short phases. The first phase consists of 3 bike safety facts. Mind-blowing facts, obviously. Next comes the virtual helmet wearing while social distancing on social media Bike Rodeo Event. You haven't heard of the VHWWS DOS MBR event? You stoked about the VHWWS DOS MBR event? What's that? What's that? What a kidder. If you participate in phase 2, you'll automatically be entered into phase 3, where we'll be raffling off a boy's bike and a girl's bike to a couple lucky winners. Phase 1, 3 facts and a Did You Know format. Fact number 3, did you know? Each year, almost 400,000 children are treated for head injuries at the emergency room for bicycle-related injuries. To put that in perspective, if it was 400,000 miles, that would be enough to encircle the Earth 16 different times. 16. Fact number 2, if every child aged 4 to 15 wore their helmet 100% of the time, this would prevent 39 to 45,000 head injuries and 18 to 55,000 scalp and face injuries annually. I don't know about you, but I like my nose and forehead. I mean, an ear might not be as important since you got 2 of them, but who's to say that both won't pop just right off like Mr. Potato Head if you take an unhelmeted fall? And finally, the fact you've all been waiting for. Fact number 1. Did you know bicycle helmets are 85 to 88% effective at preventing head and brain injuries in bicycle-related accidents? Whoa! Fact number 1 means that bicycle helmets are the single most effective way of reducing head injuries and fatalities from bike crashes. Oh, and bonus fact number 0, if you or someone you need needs a bike helmet, all you have to do is give us a call. We will make sure to get you one for free. So on to phase 2. In case you already forgot, the VHWWS DOS MBR event. And in case you already forgot what that means, so did I, let me tell you. The virtual helmet wearing while social distancing on social media bike rodeo event. Rolls off the tongue. So instead of the tired old one-day bike rodeo event this year, we want the community to come together virtually to show us how you keep your domes from cracking like safes out there. Or cracking like a 14-year-old voice box.
What are you even talking about? I mean, I don't voice crack.
Get a helmet on that throat. That thing's dangerous. This is what you'll need to do. You'll either need to take a selfie or have someone take a photo of you wearing a helmet while riding your bike or a skateboard or rollerblades or a wheeled rocking horse. It is a rodeo after all. So when we say any wheeled craft, we mean any wheeled craft will do. You! So if you want to go to Shred Town in our city on a set of Heelys, hey, do what you gotta do. Just take a photo of you wearing a helmet while doing it and post it to either Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag Chelan Bike Rodeo 21. This could be your account or your parents' account. Don't worry, if you or your parents don't use social media, number 1, your brains are probably in way better shape than those who do. And 2, we'll list the email right here that you can email us your photos. Miss Thea, one of our most amazing paramedics and MSOs, will be expecting your email. Well, now she will. So send them if you got them. If neither of those options work for you, don't worry, we still have you covered. You can either print a photo or draw a helmet-wearing self-portrait. Nailed it. And send it to us at the address listed right here. I interrupt myself at this time to take the federally mandated 15-second public appreciation of service announcement. You might be wondering, where do these bikes come from that you guys always raffle off? Well, this year, they have come from the Lake Chelan Health and Wellness Foundation. They want you to be safe. Because of that, they make big donations and set you up with awesome raffle items like new bikes. And now back to our VHWWS DOS MBR event. Phase 3 is raffle time. Participating in Phase 2 automatically gets you entered into Phase 3, which is a raffle for one of 2 bikes. So as long as you submit your photo by April 30th, you'll be entered in to win one of the 2 brand new bikes. If you're one of the lucky chosen 2, someone from Lake Chelan EMS. This is Austin Diamond, as in Black Diamond. He is our resident pro, and he'll be the one meeting you at our local bike shop. Yeah, we have a local bike shop. called Walmart to help you pick out a bike that fits your needs, your size, and your style of riding. This contest and raffle is open to all school-age kids in and around the Lake Chelan Valley. So don't forget, wear those helmets on whatever it is you're riding.
Pedal bike, pedal trike, roller skates, roller blades, gurney. You're gonna need your own gurney. And let's not forget the unicycle.
And post those pics.
One-handed tail whip, you wanna see that? Nailed it!
A big thank you to Jared and the Lake Chelan Emergency Medical Services team. It's too bad they don't seem to have any fun.
I think we can all agree, cycling produces no carbon emissions. And it's good for you.
Well, as much as we hope you're enjoying our virtual Earth Day Fair, it's important to remember what the real McCoy is like and what it will look like next year. Here's a feature produced by Go Lake Chelan in 2017.
Okay, so we're at Earth Day in Chelan at the Riverwalk Park. It's awesome. There's been a ton of people down here. It's a little bit chilly, but we've met a lot of great people and had a lot of great discussions.
We believe that being earth-friendly can be a fun event, so we want to make sure the kids walk away with that experience.
Yeah, we bring a demonstration hive so that people can actually see up close what bees do and how they react. And they were able to see the queen and the different functions of the bees in the hive, so it's fun.
Hey, that's what I like about you. The way you do, what you do, how you do, I like about you. Come on now, hey, that's what I like about you. The way you do, what you do, how you do, I like about you. I said, hey, 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 hey. They call me Ali, boom by yeah, boom baby. I go hard, so don't come lazy, come lazy. This is my party, don't be late. And how much fun the women take? You walk past and I go crazy. Nike, checkmate, yeah, I'm moving up. Shut them all down, I like it. I get bread, I got a ton. That black Ferrari. Zoom on in, hop in, let's get it started. Beg my pardon, but you got it. And that's why I said, hey, that's what I like about you. The way you do, what you do, how you do, I like about you. Come on now, hey, that's what I like about you. The way you do, what you do, how you do, I like about you. I said, hey, hey, hey. My mama ain't raised up, fool of no failure. Only go first, better let me upgrade your ole red flag.
We came up with a safety day to go in conjunction with Chelan's Earth Day because we knew we were going to have a good attendance for Earth Day as usual, and we wanted to really promote the fire department, the opportunities for people to be fire-wise prevention, smoke detectors, opportunity to see the firefighters, come here to see the trucks, get some information with the hospital came. They were giving out helmets and car seats today, which was great. Doing car seat checks for safety for children. Just doing it was just so that people could come here, see us, hang out with the community, connecting with each other, and have a free lunch and enjoy.
You can bet we're already in the planning stages for getting back to Riverwalk Park next year. Well, we've got one more good one for you. Kevin Jones, Cam Nichols, and Doyle Wood with a timely tune.
This is a song that was written 50 years ago about global warming, and it's still true, huh? Well, they paint paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Well, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paint paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah. Well, they took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged the people $1.50 just to see them. Well, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paint paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah. Go Doyle. Well, hey, farmer, put away that DDT. Give me spots on my apples, believe me, the birds and the bees. Well, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paint paradise, put up a parking lot. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Take a ride, Kev. Well, late last night, I heard that screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my girl. Oh, man. Well, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paint paradise, put up a parking lot. Yeah, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paint paradise, put up a parking lot. Yeah, they paint paradise, put up a parking lot. Well, they paint paradise, put up a parking lot.
From the Snowy Owl Theater,
Cha-cha-cha.
yeah. Kevin Jones, Cam Nichols, and Doyle Wood. Thanks once again to the Icicle Creek Center for the Arts. Well, we hope this virtual attempt at an Earth Day fair has at least filled in some of what's missing this year, but nothing can make up for the sheer energy of human interaction. Come the 2022 Chelan Earth Day Fair, we will fill the park once again. Thanks for joining us.